Everybody, I guess you can hear and see me okay. Give a thumbs up, Joe. Thank you. I'll just share my screen with you. Okay, can that be seen? Mark, can you give us an okay on that?
Yep, that's good. I can read it.
Brilliant, superb. Okay, as Matthew and John have been talking about the Shibboleth health checks, this may be an opportune time for you to simply pop your email address into the chat window and I will get in touch with you to arrange, especially as due to the fact that the offer expires at the end of July. Alternatively, feel free to get in touch with your account manager or use the trust and identity at gisc.ac.uk email address when you're ready, and we'll get in touch with you as soon as possible to arrange that. It's a good offer. It's well worth taking advantage of. But I'm here to give you an overview of the Trust and Identity Consultancy service, of which I am the service manager. We started up about 2 years ago, and we've predominantly been doing work regarding EDUROAM and UK Access Management Federation pieces. We do also cover the rest of the trust and identity services, such as EDUROAM, GovROAM, and Ascent. We are essentially here to listen to give a targeted and bespoke service, which is centered around listening carefully to your objectives and expectations during a scoping call, which normally lasts for an hour and is free of charge. And from that, we actually look to submit a draft proposal of work for you to have a look at, agree to, and sign off. But I'll give you an overview of what we have been doing. So we've been looking after people's Shibboleth identity providers and service providers. We have the ability to do remote visits, obviously under current circumstances. That's the method to use. We can also use, we also can provide site visits at obviously the opportune time. Okay, so during what happens generally is people will come in with a specific problem concerning their trust and identity portfolio, either to their account manager or directly to our service desk, where we will look to arrange a scoping call for an hour, which is no charge, as mentioned before. We will set up a proposal and send that across to you with a scope of work, the deliverables, the dates to do the work, and the prerequisites required before we start work. Once the agreement is signed off, we can start work. Once the work has been completed, there will be a set of very descriptive handover notes to help you maintain the work that has been done. And at the end of that, we always send a satisfaction survey to make sure that we're able to improve upon the service that we're providing. By the way, if there's any questions coming up, then please sort of give me a shout in the window. So this is a slide detailing prerequisites for Shibboleth related work. It sounds obvious, but you obviously need to be have joined the UK Federation, and because it's bespoke work, the requirements can vary from project to project. As you can see, I'll just go quickly through firewall changes, network load balancing, server requirements, DNS entry certificates, Active Directory, lightweight direct requirements, and logos are things that we're going to be asking you questions about within the scoping call, and also the actual proposal will have a set of prerequisites that you'll need to agree to before we start work. The next is the other dominant piece of work that we've been doing with consultancy, which is for our wireless related services, EduRoam and GovRoam. We can complete work on Microsoft NPS and FreeRadius, so neither of those are restrictions. And again, it's quite similar. You need to be joined up to GovRoam or EduRoam. We need to know about any firewall changes that might be required, your server requirements, DNS entry certificates, etc., and the VLANs that you're working on with the wireless service that you're using. So you've already had a few slides giving the contact details, and there they are again. But I just wanted to go through some of the reasons why people use the consultancy service. And predominantly it's been because people simply haven't, in-house teams haven't got enough time to complete these pieces of work, because they have other priorities, which happens to a lot of teams, and they just want to get the job done. And what's been most helpful to people is we just come in very quickly, get the job done very efficiently, and you can sort of one less thing to worry about. We can also provide workshops, which you might have an instance where you've had somebody leave the organisation that always used to look after the Shibboleth IDP or something of that ilk, and you have other people that had some knowledge of the system, but they're not quite up to speed. Obviously, you have the standard JISC training courses, which Reese has been running recently. But if you wanted us to have some really one-to-one workshops that would help you through that particular period, then that's something we could do as well. Again, I believe one of the most important things is that even though this service is a chargeable service, any sort of profit that is made with regards to the service is reinvested back into the network. So I think that's quite a nice thing to end on. I think that's about finished for me, Mark.
Yeah, so can we, we're happy to take any questions specifically about the trust and identity consultancy or about anything else. We've got pretty much everybody in the UK Federation help desk team here, plus Scott, the principal Shibboleth developer. So if anybody's got any questions on anything really, feel free to unmute and ask on the mic. Or if there's anything that people want to have covered later in the week, we'll try to make sure we can sort of fit it in as well. So I'll give a minute or so if somebody wants to jump above the parapet and ask a question. Okay, that is looking fairly quiet. So I think we're going to stop this in a moment. Tomorrow's lunchtime sessions are on attributes such as RNS and code of conduct. And then we're having an open roundtable about all things publisher related. So we'll be hoping publishers turn up with their questions, and we'll be hoping